That was my second guess.
Sorry, guys. I just don't have much time, in between polishing all my trophies and doing the podcast.
Man.
So, just see my face in that one. Yeah, beautiful as always. Just put it down there.
Hope you enjoyed this 10-second podcast.
Anything everyone's got to say today, guys? No?
You're gonna need a cabinet.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll just get my next one.
Oh man.
Oh no, I brought my trophy. Oh no. Okay, that's back.
Is that one for your
You made me
third
sick.
place prize for your PS4 pick?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Bringing up the past. I only deal in the present, Vince. I only deal in the present. And you're dealing with the three-time champion. The three-time champion. I didn't win the warm-up round, I wasn't warmed up. I let Terry go out for that one. But you're dealing with the three-time champion, so I think you should put some respect on that name, if I'm being honest.
We'll go out guns blazing today.
Yeah, that's it. No. Guys, if you didn't know, this is the Shifty Crab Podcast, where we talk about all things, not just games. And, we just sit back and we relax after a long week and just catch up. Today, I am joined by the best beard in the business, Mr. Vince Haley. How you doing, Vince?
Doing well, Adam. Doing well.
You ready? You ready for this one?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely ready. We'll see how long your winning streak lasts.
I don't think it's going to last much longer. And I am joined by Mr. Retro himself, the Pun Master General, Mr. Terry Jeffs. Terry, how are you doing?
I'm great, guys. Great. Been a good week. Been looking forward to this. Always a good time doing this podcast for you guys.
I know. Damn PlayStation coming in and just ruining our schedules and pushing this further into the week. I know.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Do they have no respect for us small times streamers and YouTube channels? We have to stick to our schedules.
I know. Can they at least give us a week notice for pulling one of these things off? Nintendo, PlayStation, they give us 2 days. Come on. We have to rearrange our lives for this stuff.
To be honest, neither of them was really worth the time. Let's be real.
No, probably not. But do you know what? We got to be together. So
we did.
Let's take it that way.
It was fun.
It was.
And we have got a jam-packed podcast today because there's things in this podcast that these guys don't even know about. I know. Because we had more time between the podcasters, I got a little bit carried away. There's been a little bit of planning.
3-hour show.
Settle down. This is going to be longer than Snyder's Batman Justice League cut.
I have no hope for that being
release the very cut.
Release the very cut. It'll just be me in my sunglasses polishing a trophy for 4 hours, listening to We Are the Champions. No, but we will start with, as always, what have you been playing? And today we're going to start with me. Because I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm excited because I finally have in my possession a PlayStation 5. Woo! A PlayStation 5 is in my house.
No longer the PlayStation 5 hunter.
No longer the PlayStation 5 hunter. I'm now the PlayStation 5 updater and storage management and working out how everything works. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm loving it. I've obviously been playing Astro's Playroom, and that game is a delight. I have loved every moment of that game. I've completed the game. I'm now working towards the platinum. It's not a long game. I did it. My console arrived on Saturday, and I was done by a few hours later. But it is so much fun.
It really is, isn't it?
So much fun. And the nostalgia, and I'm not the most nostalgic of people, but I agree with you, Terry. There's points of that where I was a giddy like a kid. And at points there was almost a tear in my eye just watching some of the amazing little moments and finding them filming special little bits and just knowing what that game was and just.
Was there any ones in particular that you were like, oh my God, like that for you personally?
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid, when you see the cardboard box. And you knock it and the sound effects goes off with the exclamation mark. I was like, this for me was a really, really good one. I just thought the whole presentation of that game was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And I really enjoyed playing it. And it's been an absolute delight to play. And the bonus ending was really good, like the special extra bit, which I'm not going to go into in case people haven't done it. But
yeah,
such a cool callback. So like,
I'm gonna have to talk to you about that actually after recording, because I don't want to ruin it, because obviously a lot of people haven't played it. Yeah, and it's such a cool, surprising thing that, and I was replaying that bit again actually with my kids the other day because I love that part.
It's so much fun, and when you see it happening, it's just like, oh, this is great. I was like,
was a
proper the music. It was a proper fanboy moment of that happening. I was like, oh my god! And then what it turned into was really cool. But yeah, so I've been playing that and kind of working out. The only issue that I'm having is my saves aren't transferring over, so I'm really struggling with that at the moment. So like my Valhalla save hasn't gone over, and stuff like this. So I have to look into them and try and work out what's going on there. That's the only hiccup. But yeah, apart from that, great console. Love how quick it is. Mine's the digital version, so there's no problem with noise or anything like that. So I don't have to worry about any disc noise, which I know some people have had problems with.
Yeah, I've got the digital.
Yeah, and it's just the power of it's incredible, and even the startup and everything like that. The first time you're doing it, it's just like. And the controller, when you're doing the vibration bits, obviously at the beginning of Astro's
so that's what I was going to ask about. The first time the whatever they call it, the DualSense demo bit on Astrobot.
It was,
tell me how that went for you.
So obviously you're turning it on and then you do I believe it's the adaptive triggers first, and pressing them and feeling the tension and then letting rip, and it's just vibrating in your hand. It was an audible holy shit that came out, because I was just holding this. I was like, this shouldn't be this strong. Like, so yeah. And then when obviously they're all inside the controller and you're tilting it and the vibration is moving with where you tilt it, was so cool. So cool. I'm hoping games implement it. I like that. I was worried about with the muting of the mic, because I know there's a mic built in, but I like that there's a button on the controller to do that. And yeah, if games implement some of the stuff in there, it's going to be really cool. And I didn't think I'd enjoy the cards, like on the dashboard, the cards for the game, but I really did use them.
Yeah,
especially when I was searching for some of the little some of the things that you have to find in Astro's playroom. I really used them, and I thought it worked really well. I know it's supposed to, because it's a tech demo, but
I think if the developer uses them as much as they do, I think it could be really good, because Demon Souls use them really well as well, because obviously for the Souls games, they're very like arbitrary, like in that you don't know what you're doing. Sometimes you've got to figure things out, and it doesn't exactly spoil it, but it just kind of just gives you some little tips. They're really like short, like little tips to say like, oh, maybe like do this when you're facing this enemy, and say, oh, okay, or it might show like a little secret area for you to try and find. So yeah, they're pretty cool, those little cards. I still don't use them as much as I should.
And I like that if you go into the settings on the PlayStation, you can turn off spoilers in those cards.
Yes. Yeah.
So it'll only show you places you've been, not places you're going. And I really like that in the settings you can choose for a lot of the games if you want the subtitles, what you want the difficulty to be, and it will auto set a lot of games to those sort of things. So it'll automatically have your customs say. Obviously, it's games that use that functionality. So I'm pretty sure cross-platform games aren't going to do that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so far so good. Obviously, I've only really played Astro's Bot. And everything else I'm moving over. But can't complain.
How do you find the whole UI? And I know a lot of people complain about the turning the console off, which I don't think it's just perfect, but it's just like
it's just muscle memory. It's muscle memory. Yeah, I keep holding it down, expecting it to come up, and it doesn't. And I got a bit confused in the shop, like the storefront, it just being over there and then actually being part of the UI, which actually is really good.
Yeah,
it's so good, but getting used to it, and I was trying to back out of it, and I was just like, why is this menu? Oh, okay, because I'm actually already back
so quick now. For the painful, like the PlayStation 3 days on the store and that horrible browser store. I remember all of that. It's come a long way.
Yeah. So sorry, Vince. This is a pointless conversation for you so far. But anyway, that's what I've been playing. PlayStation 5. It's incredible. But Vince, what have you been playing this week?
I have played a couple of games outside of filming stuff for why you should play. First of all, 2 games I'm pretty excited to talk about. Well, I say excited. This first one didn't really hit me the way I wanted it to, but Code Vein.
Oh, okay.
A, I guess, Soulsborne like, but instead of, high fantasy setting, it's pretty much just anime. Really. Like, it's as if someone looked at the Soulsborne games and was like, you know what this needs? Big titty anime girls. And that's pretty much what you get from it. And I was severely disappointed by it because it does the cardinal sin of, here's how to play the game. Now here's like 5 minutes of cutscenes, and now you're actually playing the game, which is so frustrating because they throw just as a tutorial text at you and expecting you to read that and implement it a few times. So basically, like, they're like, this button attacks. They drop an enemy in, you attack the enemy. That's that segment done. Let's move on to the next thing. Here's how do you go into the menus and equip different like abilities and stuff. Cool. Here's another enemy. Use your abilities to kill it. Oh, here's a new weapon. Play with that. Kill this enemy. Now we're done with the tutorial. Jump into the game. And then after like I said, 5 minutes of cutscenes, going into that first level, I was like, I remember absolutely nothing. I know that X is attack and Y is a different attack. So I'm just gonna go for it. Why not? And that's kind of the main problem for me. Yeah. I don't know either. Especially when you're doing a Souls game or a Soulsborne style game. Because FromSoft has pretty much perfected how to do a tutorial for those games. Because when you drop into like Dark Souls or even Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne, it leads you to areas where it's like, here's the controls for this thing, and then gives you an encounter to use those controls. And then the next room is pretty much the same thing. Here's how to do this, and it lets you play with it. And then it leads you onto an area to where you can use those tools that you just learned and put them to use. Like, it's proper how you actually, learn the things, use them, go implement it into actual scenarios. Code Vein does not do that super well. Like I said, it pads it between. And then it takes the difficulty of Soulsborne games like it's the only inspiration they took. Enemies hit hard, you're kind of weak, you have a limited number of health items, but you recover at like these certain points. Like, cool, that's Souls, but they don't set up enemy encounters very well, like at all. It's so unfortunate because I wanted kind of another Soulsborne style game to kind of get into because I'm nearing the end of my Bloodborne playthrough. I kind of want to start Dark Souls 3 and then Sekiro. But I kind of want to find something else that's in that wheelhouse to kind of like chill and play. And that's not one of them. Like, Code Vein was very disappointing. And it's too linear as well. Because in Dark Souls and Bloodborne, as soon as you like that first level opens up and then you can go
like a labyrinth,
anywhere.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a labyrinth. In Code Vein, the first level is basically a couple hallways. And it's so annoying having to walk through a hallway, get into a big area, have your encounter, walk through another hallway. There's not much exploration there. And it's for people who are looking for like a Soulsborne experience, that's not what you want.
No.
Which luckily it's on Game Pass, so I did not have to pay for this game.
Oh, well, that's something.
This is the beauty of Game Pass. That's what's great. I mean, like Vince, it's like being able to kind of tap into all these new games every week and knowing that you haven't had to drop money on it. It's just you can just try these things. It's great.
That's great.
An all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah. And so the second game I want to talk about, which I'm pretty excited to talk about, is the Outriders demo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I downloaded it Friday night probably and played about an hour of it. And I gotta say, that game looks absolutely gorgeous, but it plays just like every other live service game, unfortunately.
Oh no.
It's
It's so much hope for this one.
Oh yeah. I mean, granted, I've only played, maybe hour 30, maybe 2 hours of it. Just got through the prologue, got my abilities, and then haven't touched it since, but I'm probably going to go back to it just to see how well that works out. But it looks absolutely gorgeous. Like, you can tell this is a next gen game with the graphics, the lighting, everything in it. But here's the unfortunate part. The cutscenes are annoying. Not in the frequency of them, but then again, frequency is a thing. But the cinematography of them. So what I mean is, it has the same RPG style thing that you have, like you're facing one person, talking to them, but the camera is so shaky, it's distracting. Like it's not even necessary for it to be like shaky cam or anything, because you're just standing there talking to a person, but it's on another level of distracting, where you're looking at a person and the camera's just doing this unnecessarily behind your character's shoulder. It makes no sense. And then the dialogue, the dialogue is not great. I would put it down to maybe voice acting isn't super awesome, but it's not great. That being said, I'm probably going to go back to it to see how the rest of it kind of plays out, especially with the demo, because I think you can get to level 7 and you get the first chapter of the game outside the prologue. You get access to all the classes and everything, which I'm probably going to create another character just to get a feel for the classes, because there's 5 different ones. And I chose a pyromancer just because the way it described them, it was a medium range attack. So I just kind of went with that just because I was already using assault rifles anyway, so that's medium range. So why not have an ability that is also medium range?
So is this like a typical third person shooter, Vince? Or is it like team based or what?
I mean, it pretty much plays like a typical third person shooter. I was very much getting kind of Gears vibes from the third person shooting controls and everything from that, which makes sense because it is also People Can Fly, who worked on the worst Gears game, unfortunately. But I mean, yeah, if you're looking for a third person shooter experience, this is definitely cookie cutter, paint by numbers. It's all there: cover, pop out, shoot, use your abilities every now and then. But I'm hoping once I play more of it, it'll click, because I know it has for some people. People are loving the use of the abilities, things like that. So I wonder if I'd jump in with another character if I like that more, or even if I keep going with my pyromancer, if I like that anymore too. But it is crossplay for the demo as well, so that's pretty awesome.
Cool. That's cool. I suppose that's the beauty of a demo, though, isn't it? They can get the feedback and they've got time to change some of the feedback. So I think that works really well. But do you think it's got a lot of hope of improving? Do you think the things that a lot of this stuff could be fixed?
I think, especially with my kind of complaints with the game, the distracting camera and dialogue and stuff, is probably set and done.
Yeah, probably.
A lot of the gameplay stuff, I mean, I'd have to play around with a bit more just to see how much I actually like it and if it really needs fixing. But it feels pretty polished. You do feel like you're playing a pretty complete game as is, which makes sense because all this is kind of final build. Your progress and everything will carry over from the demo to the final game and everything. So any gear you get, your level, all that story progression immediately carries over. I mean, it doesn't feel stuttery or laggy or bad. It's just kind of some of the ancillary aspects that I kind of had a problem with.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully it turns out to be a decent game and people play it. I know it's getting quite a lot of buzz, so I'm sure it'll be around for a little while. Terry, what have you been playing this week?
I have been playing, still continuing on with Horizon Zero Dawn, making my way through that quite slowly. I'm about halfway through the story, I think. But I still really impressed with it. I took a little while actually just to do some more kind of like hunts and things and gathering and things, because I think when I first started it, I was just kind of powering through the missions, and then I realized I was getting to a bit of a bottleneck with coming up against enemies, because I didn't have enough ammo and items and things like that. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to work on now just building out my my pouches and stuff like that. So I was just going around collecting stuff. Now I'm just kind of like kitted out. I've got like I've maxed out all my capacity of all my things. Yeah, I've got like all my I've got like 4 weapons on my weapons wheel. So now I'm just kind of like really using up like a combination of things and stuff. But it's it's still continuing to be like baffled by how good this game looks for a 2017 game. When you're on top of a mountain peak and you're just kind of looking out at a vista, and it's absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, really impressed with it. So I'm probably going to really kind of crack on with that from now this week and try and get the story finished. Finished the story of Spyro 2, defeated Ripto. So yeah, done that. Gonna go and get the 100% on that and finish that off. So that's cool, because I've been playing that with my son Harry. But the other thing that I played this week, replayed through Journey.
Oh, okay.
So so yeah, I played that through with one of my sons, Harry, and yeah, I just thought it's a pretty good time for him to play through it. I thought he's kind of ready to go through it, and obviously we was kind of taking turns going through it, but it takes like, for us two playing it, we got through it in about 2.5-3 hours. You can pretty much do that in one sitting. But yeah, I mean, such a good game still. Have you both played through Journey?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
No.
No, Vince?
But I've seen it. Like, I've seen Journey. It looks fantastic.
I highly recommend it. Yeah, because if you could do it in one sitting, maybe spread it over 2. But it's just that game continues to be what I hold up as like what games can be. And if no one's ever played games before, I would always show that as like, play this, because it's like, it's not too hard to handle. There's very few like fail states in the game. It's just storytelling, like in a beautiful way, where it's not shoving it in your face. You can just kind of work things out as you want to at your own pace. And it's just everything about it, the score, the music, like it's so good. And yeah, he absolutely loved it. He got a bit scared like towards the end, because there's some moments in it where it kind of throws you. But he really enjoyed it, and I was kind of explaining the story through to him, explaining like the murals on the wall and things like that, what's going on. But yeah, just really enjoyed playing through that again. And yeah, really good stuff.
That's one of the games I wish I could play again for the first time, because it was such an enjoyable experience to play that game.
Yeah, first time playing that was one of my all-time favorite gaming experiences. It really is.
When did that come out? That's quite a while now.
It was PlayStation 3, wasn't it? It was I feel like it was like 2009,
2010, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. Something like that. But
Vince is on it. You can see the eyes
going. For those that don't know Journey, like if you've been living on a rock, it's developed by That Game Company, which developed a lot of PlayStation. Well, not a lot. They done Flow on the PlayStation 3, which was a launch game, and then they done Flower, which is another great game, Flower. And then they done Journey.
Yeah.
And Journey was like, I felt like a culmination of those two games, everything they kind of built up to. And yeah, it's just fantastic. I think it won, the time it came out, won a lot of like kind of awards. But they did make a game on mobile. I can't remember if it's something like Sky or something like that. I can't remember. I haven't played it yet, though. It's like a blend of something like Journey, but a social game. Because of course they are not a Sony-owned company, and they are working on multi-platforms at the moment. So, yeah, but bloody good developer they are.
No, it's a good game It's a good game, Vince. You should give it an afternoon, when you
100%.
You just want to unwind a little bit, because it's an interesting game. It's got its challenges and that, but it's a really good game.
Yeah, it's more of an experience, I'd say. Like it's just so good, so good. I think you'd appreciate Vince because of I don't know, like I know you like Half-Life, and I know like you like storytelling, which is just kind of left for you to decipher, like a bit like I guess the Souls games. You could just kind of play through it and that's it, and not take it as much or whatever you wanted to. But it's quite deep in terms of like it's in what it's trying to get across, and it's really cool. It's really cool.
Also has an assault rifle with a chainsaw, just to make you feel at home. So yeah, no, it's a great game. But I was there.
Want to take a stab at the release year again?
Oh, me or
either one?
Both of us, I think.
So was I off with 2009?
Yes.
Earlier, yeah.
No.
Later.
I'm going to throw in. I'm going to throw in 2012. I think it came out the Olympic year.
Oh right, I'm going to say 2010.
Ooh, Adam is correct. March 13th, 2012.
Wow,
not really correct though, because I was wrong the first time. But I'll take it as another moral victory.
That's like right at the tail end of the PS3, but I thought it was earlier than that. Wow. Okay.
Time is irrelevant. It all blends.
Yeah. That's weird because I could have sworn I had memories of playing that living at my mum and dad's, like in my bedroom, and obviously I didn't because at that point I'd already moved out. So that's weird. I imagined I was playing it there on my PlayStation 3 the first time, but there you go. Memory.
That's what a good game does. It takes you back to more childhood moments.
Yeah.
You're back at home. That's a sign of a good game. There's your advert for you there, Journey. If you really want to do a new advert, Journey, there you go. There you go. Come to Terry. But yeah, I was actually. I can't remember what I was watching, but I think my wife was just watching something, and there was about the differences between America and England, and this got me thinking because obviously we have a transatlantic podcast. We don't really play up the fact that it's American and English. So we try and find this weird twilight hour where it's good for everybody to record the sweet 10:30 p.m., 5:30 p.m. Time. But what I thought would be really interesting and kind of enjoyable for me and Terry, more than you, to make you look a bit like an idiot, Vince, is I'm going to tell you some English phrases, and you have to tell me what they mean.
What they mean, okay.
What the meaning is of these phrases. And
this is so funny because literally last night I was talking to my wife and we were talking about something. It was maybe a word like an American term or something like that. Yeah. And I was talking about when it was snowing the other week, and we were having a conversation, me and Adam, about putting on our wellies.
Yeah.
And then Vince is like, "What the hell are wellies?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's like a I guess that's a British term, but yeah."
So we're gonna do. I've got a load of them, but we're gonna do a few of them, and you're gonna see if you can work it out. Okay. Right. So number one, how's your father?
How's your father?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Because it could either be an insult.
Show you work it out. Let's see you work it out. I'll tell you that most of these are not going to be what you think they are.
I'm sure.
So, how's your father?
How's your father? I'm going to lean more to the insult route.
Okay. So
that's where I'm thinking. I can envision it being like thrown out, like you're pissed off. Like, how's your father?
How's your father, mate? Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking in. No.
Terry, what does this mean?
So I always thought it was just like, how are you doing? How you been?
No.
Wow. Okay.
How's your father means to have sex.
Okay. I didn't even realize that.
You go down, you go for a bit of how's your father. Like it's called. It's a slang term for having sex.
Oh, there you go.
Wow. You could have also had rumpy pumpy, or
wait, what was that?
Rumpy pumpy.
Rumpy pumpy.
Yeah, have you never heard of Rumpy Pumpy?
I know. Rogering, yeah. Rumpy Pumpy. Never heard that one.
Okay.
I swear you just made these up.
This one's a bit easier, Vince.
Okay.
Going to play some footy.
Going to play some footy. You're going to go play some soccer.
Yeah, so we're going to go play some football.
Yeah. That was
okay.
an easy one.
Number 4. A bodge job.
A bodge job?
Yeah, bodge.
You did a shit job, didn't you?
Yeah, a job that went wrong. You did a bodge job, yeah. Okay. What about bloomin' heck?
Bloomin' heck?
Bloomin' heck.
Bloomin' heck.
Yeah.
Ah, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. What about wind your neck in?
Wind your neck in. Pay attention?
No.
Hey, wind your neck in.
No, it means if someone's getting angry or aggravated, it's you and you're getting annoyed with them. It's the kind of, hey, wind your neck in.
Back off.
Makes sense.
I think you probably have this one, Mecca. Gobsmacked.
Gobsmacked, shocked.
Yeah, shocked.
Yeah.
She was talking 19 to the dozen.
19. She was talking 19 to the dozen.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's basically, she wouldn't shut up.
She's talking at a speedy rate.
A speedy rate.
Yeah.
19 to the dozen.
Bright as a button.
Bright as a button. Excited? I want to say.
No.
Bright as a button.
Terry, you know this one?
Bright as a button.
Yeah.
Just like smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like clever.
Yeah, clever. Bright as a button. Spend a penny.
Spender penny.
Spend a penny.
Spend a penny.
Yeah.
See, I won't think it's the obvious one, but
what do you think is the obvious one? I won't look at him. What do you think is the obvious one?
Well, I think it's the opposite one, like spending money.
Like, so it's not that. Obvious, I'll safely tell you it's not that. No.
No.
Spend a penny.
Spend a penny. Immediately my mind goes like for penny for your thoughts. Like
that's a good logic. Totally wrong, but it's a good logic. Terry, what's this one?
This is like going to do a wee or a pee.
Going to the toilet, going to the bathroom.
Okay.
Because in the olden days, you have to pay to use the toilet, so you need a penny to put in the lock. So
still doing some of them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like some places you have to pay. That's thrown a spanner in the works.
Oh, throwing a spanner in the works, messing something up. Or something's gone wrong.
Yeah, plan's gone awry. Yeah. I'm on the pull tonight.
On the pull tonight?
Pull, as in Pull.
On the pull tonight. That one's got me a little stumped because immediately my mind went somewhere else. That's not right. I'm sure.
It's probably the opposite. Probably that would be if it didn't work out.
It didn't work out. On the pool tonight. Hooking up with someone.
Yeah. That's it. Well done.
Oh.
She's such a curtain twitcher.
Such a curtain twitcher.
Yeah.
She's such a curtain twitcher.
Some of these are great. No one.
I'm not even sure on this one, but I'll have a guess after Vince.
A curtain twitcher. That just makes me think of like nosy, pulling back the curtains.
Yeah. That's what I was going to guess. Yeah. I've not heard that though, curtain twitcher.
Let's go with. We'll do 2 more. We'll go with. He's a Bobby.
He's a Bobby.
Bobby, yeah.
That's police officer, right?
Yeah, he's a police officer. And then we'll try. Chinwag.
Chinwag?
Yeah.
Chinwag.
That's Vince's beard's new name.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chinwag.
Immediately my mind goes somewhere else.
Hey, if that's where it goes.
Give her the old chinwag.
Oh.
I don't think that's right.
Not quite.
Like running your mouth? I don't know. I got nothing.
It means having a gossip, having a chat,
Having a gossip. Yeah.
having a chinwag,
Little chit chat.
having a little chit chat, a little chinwag.
Makes sense.
Well, anyway, there's hundreds of these, so I'm sure we can save some for another time. But yeah, you didn't do too bad, Vince.
No, you done pretty good. I'm really annoyed with myself that I didn't get the How's Your Father one, because now like I'm listening back, I'm like, yeah, I should have known that, and I did know that. Why didn't I?
Sometimes it just goes out of your head. But don't worry, Terry, because it's time to put you on the spot as well.
Oh boy.
Now,
oh no.
Yeah. Now, Vince started this last week with his little challenge for us, and I've spent some time delving into the vast gaming knowledge that I have on Google, and I have set up a challenge for you two. Now, there's some scoring involved in this, so you've got to be tactical. I'm going to give you 3 clues to work out a game. Okay. If you answer incorrectly at any point, you're frozen out, and the other person can hear all the clues and make their answer. Now, if you answer on the first clue and get it right, you get 3 points. Second clue, 2 points. The last clue, you get 1 point. So it pays to go in early. But like I said, you could get frozen out, and the other person has a chance to get another clue.
Very nice.
Now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 of them, so it shouldn't take too long. And we'll go through them quick. If you want to guess, just say I'm going to give it a go or whatever. I can see you both. It's not a game show, and we'll see how it goes. The clues get easier as they go along, obviously.
Okay.
So, number 1, released on the Xbox 360 in 2006.
God, Vince is going to get this.
Wow.
Anyone want to have a guess on that one, or do you want me to move on to clue 2?
Hit me
A lot of games came out. A lot of games came out in 2006.
2006.
Developed by Rare.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah. What do you say, Terry?
Banjo-Kazooie.
You are frozen out.
Ooh, developed by Rare, 2006.
I think I know what this is.
Perfect Dark Zero.
Yeah.
You are frozen out.
That's what I would have gone for after.
The answer was Viva Pinata.
Oh, shit, right.
Of course, Viva Pinata.
The next clue was...
Rare did that one.
Number 3's clue was had a follow-up game with the subtitle Trouble in Paradise.
Yeah, that would have been
So no points off the first one, but you get how it works. Number 2, developed by Japan Studios.
Oh, man. Japan Studios.
Yeah. No. You can see Terry twitching. He wants to go. My camera's...
Oh, you're gone.
I'm just waiting for the next...
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, released on the PlayStation in 1999.
Ape Escape.
Oh.
Ape Escape. He's got it with 2 points. Let me write that down. 2 points.
That seems really late, though, for...
Yeah, it does, but it was when it was.
I associate that game with the DualShock. Like
it was the first game that used it. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but I always feel like the DualShock came out. How did the DualShock only come out 1 year before the PlayStation 2? It's crazy.
It's crazy.
We had analog sticks, like no analog sticks for so long.
Oh, I remember I think my grandma bought me Ape Escape, but I didn't have the DualShock.
Yeah, I can't play this.
I was like, I can't play this. I don't. And I didn't really know that was a thing at the time. The internet wasn't really anything. So I was just like, why won't this game work? So I'm like, need a DualShock. I'm like, what's this? So yeah, okay, so that's 2 points to Terry. Your third clue was your main utility in this game was a net. So that was your third clue.
That would have helped.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Released on the original Xbox is your starting clue. Don't think anyone's going to go in on that one.
No.
It was a launch title.
Halo Combat Evolved.
Incorrect. You are frozen out. Terry, would you like to hear the third clue?
Yeah, because I'm just going to guess the wrong one. Might as well.
Developed by Bizarre Creations.
Oh, Bizarre. That's Project Gotham Racing.
Project Gotham Racing for 1 point.
Yeah, boy.
Coming in too early, Vince. There, just had to hold it. Okay, next one. Developed by Nintendo and HAL Laboratory. That's HAL Laboratory.
Oh,
Are you want to hear more? Or are you going in?
I think I know what this might be, but I think I'm gonna have to hear the next.
Okay, biggest selling game of 2000.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, that's one a spanner in the works.
Oh, I don't know that actually.
Biggest selling game of 2000.
Yep. Across all platforms, this was the biggest selling game of 2000 against everything else.
Smash Brothers.
Incorrect.
Smash Brothers. No?
You are frozen out. You want the final clue, Vince?
Yeah, give me the final clue.
It was released on the N64 worldwide as a sequel to a Japanese release.
Sequel to Japanese release.
So the original only released in Japan. The sequel was released worldwide on the N64.
Man, I really don't know this one. For some reason,
go on.
My mind wants to go to a specific game, but that's not N64. Yikes.
Show you working out. What game were you thinking of? It won't count.
For some reason, I was thinking Mother 3, but that's not right.
Okay.
Because I know the previous games were released Japan only, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Sequel, Nintendo and HAL Laboratories?
Yeah, that's what's bugging me. The HAL Laboratories. I can't remember what they've done. Like,
only released in Japan. Sequel.
Yeah, the prequel was only released in Japan. Sequel worldwide on the N64. Gonna have to rush you for an answer, Vince.
Star Fox 64. I don't know why.
Good guess. Not quite. It is Pokemon Stadium.
Oh, do you know what? That was really in my head, and Jesus.
Pokemon Stadium. No points for that one. Okay. Do not still all to play for. Next one. Released on the PlayStation 2 in 2002 in the UK and 2003 in North America. So
a year gap.
A year gap. Well, it's not actually a year gap. One was released in December, one was released in January. So it's a month gap, but they weren't released at the same time. England, UK got it first. You want the next clue?
Yeah.
Developed by Team Soho and London Studios.
The Getaway.
Correct. It's The Getaway.
No idea.
2 points for Terry. He's in there. He gets that 2-pointer. He's in. Is anyone going to throw for free? That's what I want to know.
I know. Like the Getaway was in my head when you first said it. I was like, I can't really go there. As soon as you said Team Soho,
game.
Yeah.
Getaway
it really was good.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever played The Getaway, Vince.
No.
Oh,
never heard of it.
Cracking game.
It was when it came out, it looked really good.
Think of like Guy Ritchie films like Lock, Stock, and all of them, and then like London Mafia mobs and stuff like that, and then think of GTA. Okay. And what made it really special is it was one of the first games that did their environments using photos.
Yeah,
they took photos of everywhere in London and recreated areas basically, and for the time it was groundbreaking.
You really feel like people that knew their way around London could work their way around the roads. Yeah. And really, the UI was really cool as well, because remember they had the indicators would show which way to turn, like the way they were
had all that. Yeah, you had to watch your indicators, and that was really cool. Anyway, let's move on. The final two. So Vince, you need to get a 3 and a 2 here to draw. A 3 and a 3 will give you the win.
Not gonna happen.
So, well, you never know. Okay. Released in 1998 on the PlayStation 1.
Nope.
No. Developed by Acquire.
What year?
1998.
98, developed by Acquire.
Yep. Oh, the thought's going into people's heads here. Like I can see the cogs are turning.
Yeah, I'm not sure on this one. I'm gonna
Are you ready
for the third
clue number 3?
Sure.
This means that Terry has won.
Yeah.
But we'll play for the other 2. There are 9 different games in the series on multiple platforms. It's a tricky one.
Dragon
the clues are harder.
Quest.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
Terry, you want to have a quick pop at it? You've won anyway.
Acquire basically the 1998.
98, PS1, Acquire, and there's been 9 different games in the series since. This was the first one.
Resident Evil? No? Resident Evil 2?
No, it was Tenchu, Stealth
Tenchu.
Assassin.
Didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Acquire games, I'm just like, nah, don't know.
Maybe I need to go more modern for the other ones. Okay, so when we do this game, but the final one, let's see if someone can throw a Hail Mary 3-pointer or if they need more clues. Developed by Namco.
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 Hmm.
Next clue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Released in 1993 in arcades.
Ridge Racer.
Okay, Ridge Racer is correct. Didn't even have to finish the clue. Another 2 points. That is a score of 7-0. Harry,
yeah,
you have a ridiculous knowledge of
you got me at the right times there. Like
yeah.
You know, that's one of my all-time favorite games. So yeah. Ridge Racer.
That was one of the best starts. I remember playing that game to death when it came out.
Do you guys remember the PlayStation 3 E3 event when what's his name? The Sony guy, Ken. When he said that, it was just so bad.
Yeah, people did not want to hear that. For bonus points, and for a bit of I'll give you. Part of the third clue was the name of the final release, which was in 2016. Can anyone tell me what that game was called?
The name of what?
Ridge Racer, and the subtitle of that game. Does anyone know what it was called?
Oh God, I dropped some. What do we know? What platform it was on? Was it
2016? I think it came out on multiple platforms, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. I can easily bring it up. Go with Ridge Racer. Actually, I can't bring it up because I've deleted the website page.
I don't know. Don't know what that last one was called.
No, let's just put Drift out there.
Yeah, it's Draw and Drift. That is the final one. Yeah, Ridge Racer, Draw and Drift. And I believe it was for I'm not sure what it was for. I've got a feeling it might have been handheld, but I'm not sure. I'll have a look in a minute. But yeah, well done, Terry.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Do I get a little cup to present here? Or?
No, because you haven't won the debate.
Maybe just like put it in after, like there.
Yeah, I could just I'll Photoshop one in for you. Trust me. Yeah, if you look at this in the thing, there'll definitely be one there when I edit this once we finish this. I won't put anything rude in there at all. Well, yeah, no. So anyway, you're bringing up trophies. Come on. At this point, I'm gonna have to get a belt made. I'm just gonna sit here with a championship belt. But it is that time of the week. It is time to head down the murky avenue of debate, and fight it out. And this week it was chosen by Terry. Was it you?
It was me. It was me.
What are we debating this week?
So we are debating, guys, which console had the best launch lineup of games, and you could choose from any console,
yeah.
Current to going way back to I know you want to go back to the Atari or whatever you can. So I know both of your choices because I chose this one. So I'm going to say, Adam, why don't you go first on this one?
Nope.
Nope.
No, okay, I'll go first. I'll keep it short and sweet because it's just good. There's not much needs to be said about this. I'm going to take you back to a time. It is a hot summer's day in July, and it is in Japan in 1983, and the NES was launched upon the world. Now, the NES, one of the biggest consoles of all time. Obviously, it was released twice because in October 1985, it was released in North America. And in 1986, it was released in Europe. And 1987, it was released in the UK. They staggered the launch. Now, the console lineup had, I believe, a fair few games, but there was 8 games at launch in the UK. But the key games, it had Duck Hunt, which became a phenomenon. Like, obviously, has held its own. Excite Bike, which was great for the time, but it had Super Mario Bros. It had probably the most famous game of all times. You look at Pong as the starting point and Pac-Man in the arcade industry, but Super Mario Bros. Was the console game. It has defined multiple generations. And there's some really interesting stuff about this game about this console itself before it was launched. Even the head of Nintendo was saying that the video game fad had passed for good and consoles would never be as popular. When the Nintendo came out, the Nintendo Entertainment System, we'll give it its full title, it changed gaming because of games like, and specifically because of games like Mario. Now, any console you guys pick is not going to have had that much of an impact on video games. They might be great games, and every console has had a great lineup. Wii U, not so much, but but Super Mario Bros. As a launch title, the most famous game, the most obvious game, the most branded game, and a game that has basically saved video games and definitely saved Nintendo for many years through their dark years. I don't have to talk about the other games, but I could. Duck Hunt is a great game. Inspired, was a great technology for the time and has been developed, redone and redone. But Super Mario Bros., look what that started. It's not the first time we saw Mario, obviously, but it's the first time Mario had his game on a console, and it blew the NES up and it changed gaming. The only console that beat the NES was in the UK, which was the Sega Master System. But in every other area, the NES won. The NES, the sales that the NES did every time it launched, saved the gaming industry. And I don't need to say anymore. Like, I truly believe that whatever you pick will have great games and will be great consoles, but will not have saved gaming. So that's why it has to win. That's
Vince,
my time.
What do you have to say about that?
Well, the problem is you spend a lot of time talking about the console itself saving games. And you really only gave one game as a standalone package, and you're gone. But
yeah, he's left the conversation.
His camera wasn't having it. But we were talking about launch lineup. And yeah, Duck Hunt, great for 5 minutes. Same with Excite Bike, great for 5 minutes. The only thing people would probably be bothered to buy was Super Mario, just because that was good. But then again,
great, I think is the word you need to say there, not good. Legendary, you might say.
They've made better Super Mario games since one, but Super Mario.
But they could only do that because of one.
Well, yes, but again, you're arguing for one game rather than the lineup of games that it had.
No, you're wrong. The lineup of games includes Mario, and because of that lineup, the console did so well. Because if there's no games to play, if it had just released with the games that were around at that time and what the level was, the console would have flopped. But because it had Mario, the console thrived. It's just like I don't know, and Terry will tell you, I don't know what anyone's picked for these consoles. Only Terry knows. But if someone's picked Xbox and they're going to say because of Halo didn't save gaming. Halo was just a good game that revolutionized multiplayers and first-person shooters. Super Mario Bros., which is part of the lineup, saved video game consoles. So yes, I'm spending my time talking about that game because that one game is more important than 100 games because they couldn't have happened without Mario.
What about when I've completed Super Mario Bros? What am I going to play then?
Well,
and I've played a bit of Excite by 5 minutes, and I don't have a Ned Zapper. What am I playing, Adam? Come on.
Well, luckily for you, a few months after launch, Donkey Kong started to come, and all of these games started.
I'm not talking about a few. I'm talking about I've just bought my console. What games am I buying? What games am I going home with?
Well, you don't have to, because Super Mario Bros. Instantly, people started to speed run on Super Mario Bros. See how quick they could do it. It became a phenomenon. Why do people still now just play the same game again and again and again to perfect it? And Mario became that. Like, yes, they had 8 games, and Duck Hunt is probably the second best game there. And that isn't the strongest, like, second or third or fourth game. No, they're not. They're great little games to play, but every franchise and every console will always have one that is bigger than the others. That's just the way it is. And we see that now with PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo. But that started at the NES, where you could bet your console on one game, which is exactly what the Xbox Series X is trying to do with Halo. It's exactly what PlayStation need to do with God of War and The Last of Us and Horizon Zero Dawn. And okay, there's a lot more on PlayStation than Xbox. But the Nintendo's, Super Mario Bros. Is the definitive console game, and to have that game at launch is impressive.
Vince, what console have you gone for?
What console have I gone for?
I've gone for the Xbox because Halo's on it.
You are so right.
Correct.
The original Xbox released in 2001, and yeah, you mentioned Halo. But let's see what else we got over here. We got Dead or Alive 3, a fantastic fighting game. We got Fusion Frenzy. You want to talk about party games? You want your friends to come over, sit down in front of your brand new Xbox, plug in 4 controllers, and play some sweet party games? Fusion Frenzy has you. That game was a fantastic party game, and I will not hear otherwise. You also got Project Gotham Racing. You want a sweet-ass racing game? Project Gotham Racing was there before you had Forza Horizon. Project Gotham Racing is probably the best racing game ever. And launching on the original Xbox, come on now. Come on. Also, Oddworld Munch's Odyssey. Let's go. Oddworld, super underrated franchise. And for Xbox to come out swinging with Munch's Odyssey, come on. You wanted a sequel? Munch's Odyssey is there. They had it all. Like, come on, you didn't have just one game you wanted to play, which, I mean, obviously, Halo set the bar, let's be real. But when you have not only party games, you have solid racing games, you have just solid games in general that you can share with your friends on one system. It's fantastic.
Incredible, Vince.
You've had so much to play.
Yeah, an amazing piece of machinery. Just answer me just one question, please, Vince.
Go ahead.
This is the original Xbox we're talking about, yeah?
The original Xbox.
The one that has 24.6 million lifetime sales compared to the PlayStation 2's 157.7 million. So your Fusion Frenzy game, you're lucky if you had 4 people to play it with, because no one bought the Xbox because of its dire lineup, and it's like it just didn't sell. Halo was the only thing that survived that and became a pinnacle game that Xbox now rests its laurels on desperately, and it didn't sell. The lineup has got to make the console sell.
Yeah, and the lineup is fucking strong. Like, if you take any of these games here and you set them down in front of somebody, you're gonna want to play these games. You have such a variety. You got first-person shooters, you got racing games, you got party games, you got platformers in the way of Munch's Odyssey. Like, come on, you have variety there.
Which is the better racing game on Xbox, PGR or Forza?
Let's be honest, PGR. PGR is fantastic.
Forza is so much better. It's not even the pinnacle racing series on the Xbox. the only thing that has really survived, like as an Xbox game, and is Halo from that original lineup. It as a top tier game, and which obviously every Xbox, everyone all wants to see what the Halo game is going to be, and I'll give you that. It had Halo Combat Evolved, incredible game. Like you can't argue with that, but you can argue with the others, and you can argue with the poor sales that the Xbox had. It got destroyed by the PlayStation 2. Destroyed. Like the lineup has got to help the console sell. That's its job.
And like, what did the PlayStation 2 have as a lineup?
It's not my
compare apples to oranges here.
Yeah, but that's irrelevant. It's got to compete. The Nintendo was at a point where the games industry was dying and was just a fad that was over, and it far and away exceeded expectations because of its lineup, mainly Mario. Anyway,
mainly Mario. That's
still
what we got.
Ooh. Vince just asked a question. What did the PlayStation 2 have?
I knew it.
And I wanted to use this to dispel a great myth that the PlayStation 2 had a dire lineup, because I'm going to tell you guys today that the PlayStation 2 is a great lineup of games. Now, Vince, you mentioned variety, the Xbox having a variety of games. Now, look, the PlayStation 5's had a great launch. I think we could argue that there's some fantastic games on launch day for that. You could argue the same about even like the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 4. But listen to this lineup of games, right? Talk about variety. So we've got Armored Core 2 to give those mech addicts something to play. Dead or Alive 2 for the fighters. Dynasty Warriors to show off that the processing power of the PlayStation 2 and the amount of crowds we can have. We've got the sports games with the ESPN International Track and Field, X Games Snowboarding. We've got Eternal Ring, Evergrace, Fantavision, doing something a little bit different there, a bit of an indie game before there were really indie games on the PlayStation. Gun Grip and Blaze, Kessen, Madden NFL 2001. You tell me there was any other console where Madden players wanted to play. Midnight Club.
Xbox.
Midnight Xbox wasn't even out at this point. Xbox Midnight Club, which was a fantastic racing game before there was even Project Gotham Racing. MotoGP, NHL 2001, which was a great hockey game. I used to play that a lot, but mainly on the demo. Orphan Sign of Sorcery, Cue Ball Billiards Master, Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2. Come on, now that was a showcase in graphics, I tell you. Ridge Racer 5, which was a great racing game. Silent Scope, which I think you could buy the scope with that and play that just like it was in the arcades. Now, you got Street Fighter X3, again, something there for the fighting games, for the fighting fans. Summoner, Swing Away, Unreal Tournament, Wild Racing, and X Squad. So there's a bunch of games there, just like a good number of games, a bunch of variety. But I've left the very, very best to last, guys. So we've got Smuggler's Run. Smuggler's Run was a fantastic game. If you played that back in the day,
the buggies.
That was the buggies. Yeah, well, you got to get the payloads and take them to. It was so good. Like you had this fully explorable map. Obviously, this was a time before we even had like 3D worlds to explore, like GTA 3. So it was pretty damn cool. And then the main thing, Tekken Tag Tournament. Are you kidding me right now? Tekken Tag Tournament. Tekken in its prime, coming off of the back of Tekken 3, which was, I think everyone can agree, it was the best Tekken on the PS1. Seeing this on launch day and seeing what the PlayStation 2 could do, it took everything about Tekken 3 and then just kind of doubled up on it, literally. Being able to have two fighters at once. You had the whole roster of characters that we'd had from the first 3 Tekken games. Amazing. And then we have SSX. Are you kidding me right now? SSX launched on this console. One of the best, well, I'd argue the best extreme sports game that we've ever had. Literally set the way for like EA Big and that whole generation of games. What we've come to expect from those crazy games, which we miss out on now. We need SSX back. We need SSX tricky the way it was. And then I'm going to save the very best till last, guys. Time Splitters. we got Time Splitters as a launch game. This game changed my life. Everyone goes on about how good GoldenEye is. Time Splitters took GoldenEye and just made it even better. The best 4-player multiplayer you could have split screen on a console. Absolutely fantastic. Obviously went on to improve with Time Splitters 2, but to get this on launch day, and that was the one that really threw me off guard because I got my PlayStation 2 on launch. I got it with Ridge Racer 5. I was a big Ridge Racer fan. Tekken Tag, because I love Tekken. Those were the two I was looking forward to. Time Splitters, I just grabbed it off of a whim, and that was the game that I was playing till the early hours and always playing forever. But that, to me, that launch lineup, there's a whole bunch of variety of stuff there. You got some fighting fans, sports fans, like RPGs, you've got everything. But then you've got these like new games like Time Splitters and SSX chucked in there to show what the PS2 was going to do that gen. And we all know what it did, guys. Come on. Everyone went and bought the console. It sold shitloads. The rest is history.
Vince, do you want to go first on this monstrosity? I mean, choice.
You can take it.
Oh, thank you. I've got a lot to say.
Bring it.
Okay, so you said a lot there, so there's a few points to go through. Yeah, first of all, you both need to stop mentioning Dead or Alive because that was just gratuity. Like they spent most of their budget on bouncing parts of the body for those games than the actual game
man, when
itself.
you're a teenager, it works, all right? It works.
Yeah.
It's a system seller. Come on.
Some games that you said there, incredible games. Midnight Club, fantastic game. I really liked Midnight Club. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and shit over something that was good. It was good. Smuggler's Run was a lot of fun. It really brought the term sandbox to life because it was literally just brown sand. The brown sand everywhere, and a few pixel bits here and there. But it was still a good game. Don't get me wrong, good game. Tekken is Tekken. If you like Tekken, you'll enjoy Tekken Tag Team. So it's one of them. Dynasty Warriors. Now, Terry, you're a big fan of Dynasty Warriors, aren't you? You really like that game. Dynasty Warriors. You're a big
I don't,
fan of
but many people do because the franchise is still going very strong, as we saw in the recent showcases.
You're right. No, you're right. You're right. It is still going.
They played them. Look, we're only on the second one with this game, with this console.
It is still going. You're right, but is Midnight Club still going?
No.
Is Smuggler's Run still going?
No, but that was Rockstar, and that was the evolution of where they were going with the GTA games.
But it's not, though, is it? And are a lot of the games that you mentioned still going?
Are we talking about games that are still going? We're talking about what games were great to play on this launch.
What makes a great game, though? What makes this cameraman doesn't want to work today? What makes a great game in the console launch is something that brings pedigree to the console, and it's something that. And you look at the Xbox, which is a poor man's PlayStation 2, and it brought Halo to the world. A game that you would probably say is in the top 10 known, respected franchises in the world. Now, they're doing their best to ruin that as the years go on, but it's there, Halo. You look at Nintendo, and it's Mario. You look at PlayStation, and it's Kratos, or it's Joel and Ellie, or it's Aloy, and it's all of these characters that came after the PlayStation 2 launch. Now, some of those games came out on PlayStation 2, but way down the line. None of those launch games became a pinnacle game for that console. None of those launch games saved that console. The reason that the PlayStation 2 sold so much is because of its back end. All the games that came out later. It had the quicker start because it wasn't competing really against anything.
We're not discussing a console's life cycle of games.
But we're talking about the launch.
We're discussing. We can transport ourselves back to that moment in time. We've just bought that console. We're excited for that console. What are we going to be playing? Now, when the PlayStation 2 launched, Ridge Racer was a huge franchise. Tekken was a huge franchise. We've just come off the back of having 3 Tekken games that were the games on the PlayStation 1. The same goes for Ridge Racer. They were like, along with Gran Turismo, they were the racing series. So to get this console on day one, and you're getting the new Tekken game coming out, you're getting the new Ridge Racer coming out, And then you're getting this brand new FPS Time Splitters, which is made by the team that made GoldenEye on the N64. Like, just those three alone. Like, and then I say like SSX. Like,
SSX is a great game. Should be more of them.
Yeah.
But yet again, there isn't.
Yeah. Well, they did do them on the PS3, but they went a bit too serious in time with that. But I still enjoyed it though.
I loved SSX Tricky and stuff like that. And SSX.
SSX3 for me. I know we're going off subject, but SSX3,
had a great soundtrack as well, that game. I remember the music being really good for that game. But yeah, do you know what? Like, PlayStation 2 is my favorite console. So I'm purely saying that, but I do not think that the launch is strong enough to be said the best console launch of all times. Vince, you haven't weighed in on this. Like, you've been pausing, you've been stroking the beard, you giving the old chin wag a little bit of a rub. Like, what do you think about the PS2? The launch, sorry.
It's a lot of decent games there, but nothing that hasn't been one-upped by the Xbox's release. Let's be real. Time Splitters, good. But Halo come along and absolutely destroyed Time Splitters. No one was thinking about Time Splitters by the time Halo came out.
Right.
That's how bad it was. They destroyed that game. SSX, really good. If you like, snowboarding games. Pretty fun. Cool. A lot of people do. But I mean, it's got a lot of variety, that's for sure. You want to buy all those games, sure, go ahead. But really, what's there besides SSX or what was it? Ridge Racer, Time Splitters.
Ridge Racer, one of those.
Smuggler's Run. Midnight Club.
You've got to stop selling the Smuggler's Run. It was a good game, but it's not helping in this argument.
Smuggler's Run was a great game.
Yeah. No, never played it.
You could have
when I had my PS2.
It was great.
Let's be honest. When I had my PS2, I had Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, and maybe a handful of other games.
Metal Gear Solid, Sons of Liberty.
Nah.
That was the second one?
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, no. that was two.
Oh, Substance. Was Substance the second one as well?
No, Sons of Liberty was two, but then they released
the Raiden one.
The re-release one, which was Subsistence. Was that three?
Yeah,
I can't
Subsistence, remember. Yeah. Anyway, there's been a few of them, but yeah, they were great, but they were down the line. GTA, down the line. Was it San Andreas that came out on the PS2? And Vice City?
Yeah.
GTA 3.
GTA 3?
Yeah.
All down the line. Like,
so
I don't think it launched strong.
Started with a stumble, but ended up great. Xbox came out the gate swinging. Let's be honest.
And then got tied out in the first round.
Just swinging that one energy sword. That's all it had. But it's all
best
fun and games.
Online multiplayer game.
Yeah, best online multiplayer game. But it wasn't the best-selling console, though, was it?
If Knights of the Old Republic had come out on launch day, I'd give you.
You could say it's about anything. If you could say that about any console. I'll tell you what. On the NES, if God of War came out on the NES, there we go, with the graphics that it has on the PS4, PS5, Xbox has its game. Halo became its talisman, and it ran with it, and then limped with it, and now crawls with it. Like, the PlayStation 2 didn't find its talisman in that launch. It found it later on with Snake and stuff like that. Bringing those games back. And the NES found its talisman that it still uses today, that they've opened a theme park on this character. Multiple movies, multiple cartoons, everything. I really want to go there. And I'm not a huge Mario fan. I like Mario, but I'm not a big platforming guy.
I keep watching videos on YouTube of just people walking around it and filming. I'm like, oh man, come on.
So I just don't think you can beat a game that saved games. You couldn't have Halo without Mario, because there wouldn't have been a games industry that had gone all over. Everything would have separated. The same with PlayStation. There would be no PlayStation 2 without Mario. A lot of the games that you're saying in your launch lineup are there because of Mario, whether it's through the fundamentals of games or because gaming was even still around. That's what made it such a great console lineup, because it was the ability to have these arguments. Otherwise, this argument would be, what was the best game before the Nintendo? Like, because there was nothing after it. Like, everything would have been on the PC, and we know we don't like PC plays. So, yeah. I have nothing more to say. If anyone has any closing arguments, let's say them now, and then we can talk about nice things.
No, that's it. Just come on. Just be smart. Be smart.
They will. They'll vote for Mario.
Yeah, not the NES. They'll vote for Mario. And that's it.
Oh, we're not voting for the console.
That's how you'll
We're
win.
voting for the lineup. The lineup. Hey,
The lineup of a single game.
the audience.
That was actually worth it.
The reason I have done so well is because me and the audience were like this. We understand this, you know, with your Halo and your.
We shall see. We shall see. The Twitter poll will be up, and you can vote on who you believe is the best of these 3 launch lineups, and we shall see who the winner is.
It's only a short poll this week, though. You know, it goes up tomorrow. The podcast will be up on Monday, so that means you've only got till Thursday. So it could be tight.
It could be.
Let's
be.
see. But yeah, well, let's leave the debate there, because I think as always, we'll say something nice. All of those consoles were great, and they all did really well. I have fond memories of playing the Xbox. I think it came out on other consoles, but I on my Xbox, I would play like Need for Speed Underground and the Lord of the Rings game. Even I remember my friend having it and being obsessed with it, so I had to play it. Yeah, so I got dragged along to play it, which was a fun. Even though I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings fan, it was a fun game to play, and I remember playing them on the Xbox.
Spider-Man 2. I know that, but that wasn't launched. But yeah,
and there was WrestleMania 20 something, and that came out, or 18 or 19, no, 20 something thing. And I got the Xbox purely for that game because I was a big wrestling fan and I wanted to play it. So yeah, nothing wrong with the Xbox. The PlayStation 2 is probably the greatest console ever released. Like, I think it's a fantastic console, personally. Like, until the PlayStation 5. Well, I wouldn't know. There's not much to play at the moment.
No.
Just PlayStation 4 games upscaled. But it's the same on everything at the moment. But yeah. Anyone else got any? Why have I frozen? Oh, that's why.
Yep, you go.
There's a cable somewhere on my desk that is not liking life today. And I haven't
it's not
really
liking
been
your argument for launch.
That must be what it is. But I was saying to Vince before we came on the air, since getting the PlayStation 5, a leak has appeared from my bathroom to. I'm not saying they're connected, but it's that heavy. It is no. There's a leak from my bathroom dripping into my other bathroom, but it was dripping into the light bulb, like the casing. So it caused all the electrics to blow downstairs, and there's a hole in my roof, basically in the bathroom, where they've had to pull everything out.
Oh, no.
Had to get an emergency plumber, an emergency electrician today, so I've not really been in the office at all upstairs doing anything. So I powered everything up basically just before we went live, and clearly something has moved on my desk, and I'm not quite sure what it is, but I will get it fixed. But yeah, I've only been able to play the PlayStation a little bit because the rest of the time I've been trying to get a plumber, an electrician, and electrician.
Someone really doesn't want you to enjoy this PlayStation.
Yeah, it's
like you've got it, and now it's the universe is trying to stop you.
I've sold my soul for this. This is what it is. Yeah, so it will be fixed when we record the news. I'm sure it's just a wire somewhere that is not happy, but it's every time I move my elbow, and my elbow is not on any wires. So I am worried about this one. But so like we said on the news that we recorded earlier, we don't know if Bethesda are going to do a live show next week. It's rumored. It could be the week after. When that happens, we will obviously be here for it, because Bethesda usually means big things.
Oh, yes.
So hopefully it's not just Deathloop.
Oh, yeah. I'm absolutely ready to watch
Arcane Studios. Hopefully it's not just that. That'd be really interesting.
Deathloop on loop for an hour.
Deathloop on loop. I'm going to edit everything. We've got the news as normal. We've got the podcast back at its normal time next week as well. It'll be released on Sunday, unless there's a live reacts thrown in there somewhere. And guys, it's been an absolute pleasure as always.
Always is.
Yeah, always.
It's been such a great chin wag. Great chin wag.
Looking forward to it next week.
Yeah, look forward to that. And guys, we will see you soon. I have been Adam. This has been Vince. And down here has been, or up here, I don't know where I'm going to put you, has been Terry.
Thank you guys.
So much, Terry.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Stay shifty, guys. Bye-bye.